Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Since quarantine is starting to end all over the country, I thought we would make a YouTube video on the 10 things I wish I knew before I started the gym. So tip number 1 is that no one is judging you. The biggest thing I was scared of before I started going to the gym was that people were going to be looking at me, judging me, making fun of me, because I knew I didn't know what I was doing. And being a newbie in the gym and thinking that everybody else has it figured out and that you're gonna be the only one in the gym not knowing what they're doing is terrifying. But in all honesty, not everybody has it figured out. Not everybody knows what they're doing. And not everyone is judging you. Now, there are going to be people looking at you at the gym, and that's because a lot of us at the gym choose to not go on our phones, because if you're like me and you choose to go on your phone between rest breaks, your 30-second rest period becomes 5 to 10 minutes, and that's happened to me many times. So I now make it a rule to try to stay off my phone, and I know a lot of other people do that as well. And if you're not on your phone between sets, what else are you supposed to do or look at? So I people gaze at the gym. I like to see who's at the gym, what people are doing. If someone's doing a new exercise that looks super good, maybe I want to implement that into my workouts. So people watching at the gym is so normal. The problem is if they're staring, and if people are staring at you, what you do is you stare back at them and you make them feel just as uncomfortable as they're making you feel. Number 2 is do your research, but know that you're not gonna know everything before you start going to the gym. So before you get into the gym, do your research. It'll make you feel more comfortable before you get in there. Research the different types of muscle groups that there are that you can train. Look up different lifts and workouts on YouTube that maybe you could implement. That way, if you're watching YouTube videos of people in the gym, you're gonna be familiar with the equipment before you get in there. You've already seen people use it. There are so many things you could research before you go to the gym. But also, do not think that you need to research everything and know everything before you start. I've been lifting for 3 years and I am still continuously learning things. New exercises, new variations, different things to try. But if you do your research before you start, you're gonna feel so much more comfortable than if you just walked into the gym blind. Number 3 is all about form. Now, when it comes to lifting weights, form is imperative to avoid injury. Now, on your compound movements such as squat, deadlift, bench, if you're gonna do hip thrust, look up the form before you attempt. So, simply YouTube how to squat properly, how to deadlift properly. So many videos are gonna come up that you can utilize. Look at how to do the form and then start with super light weight to get the form down before you increase your weight. Increasing your weight on squat or deadlift if you don't have the proper form down could seriously cause injury. This also prevents getting to a heavier weight, let's say on squat, and you don't have a proper squat form. At a certain point, having bad form is actually going to affect how much you can lift. Learn the form before you start and make sure you have it down before you increase the weight. Okay, so number 5 is that failing is inevitable, which may not seem like a helpful tip. I mean, Caitlin, why are you talking about failing when I haven't even started my journey yet? It's because it's so imperative to know before starting that you're going to have bumps along the way. There is more than one way to do things. There's more than one way to grow your quads. There's more than one way to have a successful diet. It's trial and error and figuring out what works for you. No one's journey is going to be perfect from start to finish. So, know you're gonna fail at certain things, but know that there's more than one way to do things, and if something fails, you can try something else. And keep trying until you find what works. Number 6 is don't be scared of supplements, but know that they're not necessary. So I personally, when I started the gym, thought that pre-workout and protein powder was for the meathead, Olympic lifters, the bodybuilders, and I really didn't think those products were for females, which I know. such a wrong way to think, but that's really what I thought because I was not knowledgeable. So do your research before starting on the gym on the different types of supplements and pre-workouts that are out there. See if any of them are going to be able to aid you in your fitness journey. I've also heard people say when they started going to the gym that they thought protein powder and supplements were necessary. That was the complete opposite from my thinking. Supplements are not necessary, but that's what they are. They're a supplement. If you're not getting enough protein in your diet, protein powder is a supplement for the protein you're lacking in your diet. Pre-workout is a stimulant that is giving you caffeine to get you going through your workout. I thought all pre-workouts made you itchy, made you tingly and jittery, and there's actually really good pre-workouts out there that don't have the beta-alanine, which is what makes you itch. Research if you want supplements, if you don't want supplements, and if you're truly lost, go to your local supplement store and tell them what your goals are. If you let them know, hey, I want to build muscle, or I want to lose fat, or I want to do both at once, ask them what you can take to help aid you in your journey, because that's simply what they are. They are aids. They're not something you should wholly rely on to help you in your journey. Tip number 7 is something I wish I knew and truly understood before I started my fitness journey, and that is that you cannot outwork a bad diet. I had the idea in my head that since I was athletic and I was on a sports team, that lifting 5 to 7 days a week and doing my workouts for my sport was enough to counteract my bad diet, and that truly was not the case. I was on 2 different medications for the past 3 years. One of them was causing me to gain weight, and the other one was helping retain my weight and making it very difficult for me to shed that weight. So that on top of a bad diet was just a horrible combination, and I ended up gaining a lot of weight over the 3 years that I was actually lifting. So since quarantine started, I had just gotten my medication fixed, and I decided that now was the time to apply myself and to actually commit to a diet. So I signed up for Weight Watchers. So far I am down 15 pounds in 2.5 months, 3 months maybe. But you cannot outwork a bad diet. You'll hear people say all the time that abs are made in the kitchen, and I thought that that was baloney. Well, they're not joking. Abs are made in the kitchen. A lot of people can eat whatever they want and still lose weight. It's dependent on your body type, your metabolism, but just know you cannot outwork a bad diet. If you're eating 3,000 calories a day, you can work out all you want, but you're probably still going to be in a surplus. Even if your goal is to put on weight and you want to be in a surplus, you should still find a way to track your calories, track points, track your macros, something, just so that you're aware of what you're putting in your body. I thought since all the influencers I follow did intuitive eating, that's what I could do. And I would eat horrible and I called it intuitive eating when that's not what it is. Intuitive eating comes after years of learning about nutrition and learning what works for your body. And that's not something you can just jump into. So please, before you start your fitness journey, know that your nutrition is actually so important. Tip number 8 is that you need to warm up and cool down. So, growing up, I've played sports every single year of my life, except for now because I just quit my college track team. So now I'm a NARP, which, please don't take offense to that, it's a joke. I've been active my whole life, and every sport team has you warm up before practice. You do stretching, you do a couple laps around the track, you do a couple suicides down and back the basketball court, but I just thought that that applied to sports, and I didn't think that I needed to stretch before lifting, and that is so wrong. My muscles would be so sore like 4 days after a leg day, and it would take forever for my muscles to recover because I was not properly warming up and cooling down. So now I have a 3-step warm-up that I follow. I first start with static stretching, which is stretching your hammies, your quads, your lats in just a static position. So sitting on the ground, putting your feet out and touching your toes to stretch your hammies. I then move into a walk on the treadmill, and I usually do an incline walk. I walk for 5 to 10 minutes depending on the day, just so that my blood can start flowing throughout my body, my cardiovascular system is pumping, just to get blood flowing to all of my muscle groups. Then the third and final part of my warm-up is the dynamic warm-up, which is things such as skipping, high knees, butt kicks, karaokes. Warming up is going to prevent injury. It's also going to make your muscles recover quicker. Something that I didn't even do when I played sports was a cool down. And a cool down is super important as well, because you're working out, walking on the treadmill. This is me walking on the treadmill, you know, my heart is pumping. I'm at like 150 beats per minute. Boom, turn off the treadmill, walk away. You can't just leave the gym while your heart is still pumping at 150 beats per minute. Sit down, do some static stretching, take a minute to breathe, and allow your body to return back to its normal state. Tip number 9 is to ask for help. Yes, ask for help. When you're first starting your fitness journey, like I've said many times already, you're not gonna know everything. And so when you need help, ask for it. If you're not comfortable asking a stranger for help, ask one of the personal trainers at your gym. That's their job. And when I first started going to the gym, I thought that the trainers were only for people that were paying for the personal trainers. Now, don't go up to the trainer at your gym and ask them to write you a workout plan, a workout split, and expect to not pay them and pay for those services. But if you're new to the gym, you're alone at the gym, you're squatting, and you want to make sure your form is okay, ask the trainer to come in and watch your form to make sure you're not hurting yourselves. Another thing you can ask the trainer for is if you really want to crush your quads, but you don't know quad isolation exercises, quick pop up to the front desk and say, hey, do you have a couple of exercises you can tell me about that will target my quads because I'm at a loss? They'll help you. That's truly their job. That is what they're there for. Number 10, which is our last one, we made it, is that progress is slow. And like I said, not everybody's fitness journey is the same. There's going to be bumps along the way, and progress is going to occur differently for everybody. Some people are gonna see progress from lifting weights within a month. Some people's bodies might take 3 months. So it's very, very important for your mental sake not to compare yourself to others and to know that progress will happen eventually. One of the best ways to track progress is to take progress pictures. Sometimes you're gonna notice in a picture your progress before you'll notice the scale budge. So take progress pictures, compare. Don't compare your day 1 to someone's day 600. And don't compare your day 30 to someone else's day 30, because like I said, everybody is going to experience progress at different rates. Just because your best friend can lose 10 pounds in a month doesn't necessarily mean that you can, and that's okay. Everybody's bodies are differently. Everybody's body is going to adapt and grow muscle and lose fat at different rates. Don't compare yourself to somebody else, and know that progress is slow. Those are the top 10 things I wish I knew before I started going to the gym. Thank you so much for coming back and watching another one of my videos. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Within the next couple of days, I should be posting a full week of workouts and my full workout split, so don't forget to keep an eye out for that too. Have a good one.